All right, here we go back at it again as we are gearing up for the weekend of action. So we kind of know how this works, right? After Breeders' Cup, racing kind of goes into a little bit of a lull, and then you kick it back up. You got the Clark and things like that coming up at the end of November, and then you kind of make your way through until you get to the day after Christmas when Santa Anita opens up, and then of course the beginning of the year we really jump into full swing, focusing in on all the 2-year-olds who just turned 3, and as they get ready for the Kentucky Derby Trail. Now, this weekend is a little bit different because we have a huge storm coming up here on the West Coast. They have already canceled Del Mar racing for Saturday. Friday is going to be super wet. Sunday is going to be super wet if they even have racing on Sunday. So the West Coast, we are going to be lacking in action. So that means we're going to focus on what's happening on the East Coast and, of course, in Kentucky. So Kentucky and New York is where we focus today, and we get started with some really cool stakes events coming up this weekend. First up, let's go to Churchill Downs. Grade 3 Chilukki Stakes. Saturday, race 3. It's 1 mile. Fillies and mares, 3 years old and upwards, on the main track. 7 runners in here, and we've seen these runners before, right? We know what we're dealing with in here, and we've got a little bit of everything. You know, Shred the Gnar is going to be intriguing, especially with Luis Saez in the irons, and Ragtime. So Ragtime is intriguing because Ragtime is a 7-furlong specialist, in my opinion. And now going to a mile, I think most handicappers have an opinion on that. Like, I feel like if you're a 7-furlong specialist, a mile is too long for you. You might be able to cut back to 6, but the stretch out is not as easy as you might think. And so with that being said, I believe that the runner that really is in the best spot is Impel to the inside at 9-2. I feel like Florent Geroux figured out how to ride this filly, and they have a great style where they can sit, but they're not too far off. But they can sit and then run them down going a mile. I think it's going to be perfect. I think we'll get every bit of that 9-2 because folks are going to bet Ragtime, and they're going to bet Shred the Gnar, and they're going to bet One Magic Filly. And Impel is going to find a way, I think, to float up above 9-2, and we love that. So it's all about Impel, the 1 at 9-2 morning line. That's race 3 coming up Saturday from Churchill Downs, the Grade 3 Chilukki. From there, we move to Aqueduct. Grade 3 Jockey Club Oaks. Anytime you see the word Oaks, it automatically means 3-year-old fillies. There's no other way to explain it. Take a look at your field of 8 runners in here. It's going to be race number 7, a mile and 3/8 on the turf course. And here we have some runners we've seen before as well. And Fionn is one of the runners that we really do like. Laurelin is a runner that's extremely talented. And in fact, Laurelin was undefeated until being beaten last time out in the QE2. And, you know, Here for a Good Time is an intriguing horse as well, Evershed. But I think when it's all said and done, in my opinion, I think the undefeated filly gets right back into it. I think that Laurelin has the perfect running style. Kendrick Carmouche has done a great job with this filly. They work beautifully together. And I think now, second off this little bit of a layoff or a freshening they had, I think they'll be in good shape. I'll take Laurelin. We probably won't get much value. Because Fionn's in great form right now. You know, I think that Laurelin might still end up being your post-time favorite. But I still think it's worth the wager because I think she's going to win. Then we move on to the Knickerbocker Stakes. That's Saturday, 1 1/8 on the turf. And this one is race number 9 on the card coming up Saturday in New York. Again, some familiar names. Ohana Honor, we've seen before. Signator, Air Recruit, is definitely going to be out there trying to steal away. Bank Frenzy is for main track only. In this situation, I like to go with, I guess, consistency, and I just need for some things to break in the right manner. So Tricari, I think, is the best runner to sit and close. The problem is he doesn't win enough. He's won 5 of 14, but I just feel like he should have won more races than that. Well, now he comes back off of the freshening. He had the first start back on October 17th, and now second off the freshening. And the fact that Johnny V chooses to remain on this runner shows me this runner does have some promise. They just need things to break right, and I think they will. And I think we'll get value. I think we'll get, The horse is running on, what, a 6-race losing streak? Yes, it's all against stakes competition, but still. I think we'll get, 6-1 on Tricari. And if we get 6-1 on Tricari, that's gift money. So we'll take that all day long and twice on Sunday. And then after we wrap that up, before we even get to that, we want to set you up on Friday. Friday, our play of the day is going to be the Notebook Stakes. 1 mile over the turf at Aqueduct. It's going to be race 5 on the card. Once again, this is the Friday play of the day at Aqueduct, the Notebook Stakes. And in this, we've got runners we've seen before as well. And hey, these are talented runners going the mile on the turf course. Top player, remember, to the outside, that's an also eligible for the main track only, so we're not really going to factor that runner in here. But what I always like to do is take runners that I see have room to grow or improve. Tim and Sam, that's the 4 at 12-1 on the morning line. There's that man, Kendrick Carmouche again. I think that this runner has the perfect running style for this event, right? Going a mile over the turf course, going to be turning back in distance after breaking the maiden, going a mile in a 16. I like the fact that he can just sit just off of it, has enough speed to get into position, and then be able to fight in the stretch. It's important that he be up in that first flight. I don't want him on the lead, but I just want him sitting just off the pace and then boom, so he can beat those deep closers to the punch. And at 12-1, we're probably going to float up. Because runners like this, a lot of players probably don't know what to do with a runner like this. And I get it, right? There's no clear-cut speed or clear-cut closer, It's a runner that's going to sit mid-pack, maybe even in that first flight, and that's what I like. And that's why we're getting value. And we're going to probably float up. Unless we have some significant scratches, I think Tim and Sam's going to be a bigger price than 12-1. And I like that. I think I like that a lot. So we'll go with that and see how it works out as we kind of gear up for the weekend of play. Remember, they're going to cancel Del Mar on Saturday. It's going to be wicked wet on Sunday. If they do run, I'm sure they're not going to cancel 2 days of racing. So, and they probably carded Sunday's action so that if they did have turf racing, they could easily take them off and not lose much of the field, right? The field will remain intact, and the consistency and the integrity of that race would still be there. But that's what's coming up on the West Coast, which is going to die down a little bit. So we're going to focus in on the East Coast and, of course, in the South there with Kentucky. All right, that's how we do it here on Horse Race Bets. In the meantime, in between time, until next time, I'm Kenny Rudolph. We'll see you here. Good luck and enjoy whatever you're into.